This is the Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne, Indiana, the home of the Fort Wayne Komets.
Celebrating 60 years, it's time to sound off with the Komets, presented by PHP. Ready the phones, Twitter your questions and comments. Live from Wrigley Field Bar and Grill, it's your chance to sound off.
With the Komets. Welcome to the show, everybody. The show is brought to you by PHP. We got a packed house out here at Wrigley Field, and we appreciate them. You can tell they're loud, ready to go. I'm Tommy Schegler. This is head coach from the Komets, Al Sims. Coach, you got to give it up for the fans.
Yeah, it's awesome. Best fans in the league, and you know, they support us 100%, whether it's a TV show or at the Coliseum, and you know, we really appreciate them all coming out tonight, and we know they'll all be there opening night.
And what a historic season we have coming up for the Komets in Fort Wayne. I mean, the 60th season. Can you even put that into perspective, what that means for a minor league team to be so strong in a city for such a long period of time?
Yeah, I think when you think of us and the Hershey Bears, I think Hershey's the only team that has a longer tenure than us. You know, it's just incredible that they've managed to keep hockey in Fort Wayne and viable and a great product for the fans for 60 years.
It is absolutely awesome, and we are so excited to bring you this show throughout the 60th season of Komet Hockey in Fort Wayne. We are going to be here every Monday night throughout the entire season. We're going to have a different Komet every single night. Al is here tonight. Kaylee Schrock is also in the crowd. We're going to bring him up in a little while, so we're going to have a lot of fun out here. I want to tell you about some of the stuff that we have planned just because it's a new show. We are going to give away a pair of tickets to one of the Komet games coming up with a trivia question. You have to follow us on Twitter because you're going to answer the trivia question that we ask in a little bit through Twitter. That's at INC Soundoff. So if you're not following us on Twitter, go right now and follow us on Twitter. The next segment, we're going to give out a trivia question, and whoever gets the answer right is going to get a pair of tickets to an upcoming Komet game. We also have a behind-the-scenes look coming up, something that we thought would be fun to do. And one of the fun things about this show is being able to kind of give the fans another look at the team and off the ice view.
Yeah, I think, Tommy, it's great to get a different player each week, and fans can find out different things about that player and hopefully some of his personal life as well.
483-8331 is the number to call. The phone lines will be open next segment, so start calling in right now. As I said, you can also send us a tweet at INC Soundoff. The behind-the-scenes segment is coming up in a few segments, but let's talk about you, Al, and talk a little bit about this season. Obviously, last season didn't end the way that you would have liked. We got pretty used to raising a cup at the end of the year. I'm sure that's started a fire inside of you.
For sure. I know a lot of our players were disappointed with last season. I was disappointed, management was disappointed, and you know, it's one of those things where it was a you know, reality check, and you know, we worked hard all summer to put a team together that compete to win a championship in this league, and we feel we've done that. We're very pleased with what we saw today and yesterday at the Coliseum, and you know, the fans are going to have a lot of fun watching this team this year.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the recruiting aspect. This is year number 2 at the CHL. Obviously, you learned a lot last year. What did you go out and try to accomplish with the guys that you got this summer?
Well, I think the one thing, Tommy, we had to address was our offense and lack of it, and we wanted to get some scorers in here this year. And you know, we've got some young kids who can score. We got Jesse Benefield who can score. And, you know, we're hoping to put more pucks in the opposition's net. And I think at the other end, defensively, I think we've gotten stronger with some really good young players that the fans will see Friday and Sunday this week. And, you know, if you're better defensively and better offensively, it should produce more wins.
You're a defensive guy, and that's where it all starts with you. But talking to you, you've seen a lot of things in the game where you want to get the defensemen a little bit more involved this year on the other side of the ice as well.
Yeah, I think with guys like Jamie Milam and you know, Frankie DeAngelis, both guys that can get you 50 points, we want to get them involved in the offensive part of the game, not only on the power play but 5-on-5. And you know, I think that the systems we're putting in place now are going to utilize the defensemen on offense, and that should really help us.
All right, well, let's take our first break. 483-8331 is the number to call. I already got the lines starting to line up. When we come back, we're going to open up the phone lines. We're also going to start to take questions from this live audience out at Wrigley. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hang with the show. We'll be right back. One of the great specials out at Wrigley every Monday night, 14-inch pizza, unlimited toppings, $8. That's every single Monday out here at Wrigley. Welcome back to Sound Off with the Komets, brought to you by PHP. I'm Tommy Schegler along with K's head coach Al Sims. We're opening up the phone lines, 483-8331. You can also send us a tweet, but we have a little bit of business to take care of, Al, and it's called the trivia question. All right. This is the first trivia question in the history of Sound Off with the Komets. You have to answer through Twitter. So that's how you got to get us at INC Soundoff. Who scored the very first Komet goal? Goes all the way back. Start answering on Twitter now at INC Soundoff. I'll tell you who got it a little bit later on in the show. Let's head into the phone lines. Fitting that we begin our very first caller with Gold Card Rick. He's one of our most loyal viewers. Gold Card, how's it going, my man?
Pretty good. Thank you, Tommy, for an early Christmas gift for this show.
No problem.
Al, I got one big question. Are you going to waste Kelly Strock as a goal scorer and let him score 30 goals, or are you going to waste him as a fighter? Because I don't see no beef in this lineup yet.
No, Kelly knows his job, and Kelly's one of those kids who can score goals and handle himself physically, and we've got lots of physicality you'll see on the weekend, and I can't wait for you to see it.
All right, Gold Card, thanks a lot for calling in. You have anything else you want to say?
Oh, Komets!
There he is, Gold Card Rick,
Right away,
everybody.
Rick.
All right, let's go to the Twitter line, okay? We actually have our winner already. It is J Middaw 81 says George Drysdale, and that is the answer to the trivia question. So you have won a pair of Komets to a pair of tickets to an upcoming Komets game. Just direct message us with your phone number. We'll call you after the show is over, and we'll get you hooked up with those tickets. We did have a question. Hey Al, are you willing to cut multiple returnee players if there are new young players in camp that are as good or better?
Yeah, I think the one thing we've said since day one of training camp here is everybody has an opportunity to make the hockey team, and the fact that you're a veteran doesn't guarantee a spot on the team. I think a lot of people saw a lot of players that we let go this summer that have been Komets for quite a few years, and it shows that we're not afraid to let people go if younger and better people come in.
Well, and that's what you have to do. Considering the result of last year, it's time to start looking to the future a little bit more. What did you see from the guys at practice today? Because I should mention, training camp started today. That's the reason we decided to premiere the show tonight. So you have one practice under your belt. What did you see?
Well, I think a lot of youth, a lot of speed, some guys who can finish around the net, and some great young defensemen, and great goaltending today by Beecher and Nick Boucher as well.
483-8331 is the number to call. Let's head back into the phone lines. I've got a lot of people ringing right now, but Russ is on the line. Go ahead, Russ.
Hey, first off, I want to say huge Komet fan. Been going for over 25 years now. And
awesome.
That's awesome.
Wanted to throw this one at Sims here. Do you think the players have a hard time here in town, the advertisements that are on the ice, or do you think that's something that the Komets kind of get accustomed to?
No, I think it's something that the players are used to, especially in our arena. There is logos all over the ice. I think the one thing you try to stay away from is logos that have black in them, because goaltenders can lose the puck sometimes if it does come off a dark spot in the ice. But I haven't heard our goaltenders complain or the players, so it's something that is part of our genre at home, and the fans seem to like it, and I think it doesn't bother the players.
All right, Russ, thanks a lot. Appreciate you watching tonight. We're going to move on through the phone lines, and Rick is on the line. Go ahead, Rick.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Doing
Very
well.
good, Rick.
All right, my question's for Al. I was wanting to know how Baba Booey's looking this year.
Baba Booey.
I think Rick is having some fun with us. Well done, my friend Rick. We'll be watching next time, however. All right, let's talk a little bit about you, because one of the things I was excited about with this show is giving fans a different perspective on the players. You're a Toronto guy, family guy. Talk a little bit about your life off the ice.
Yeah, we've got 2 boys that are we're involved in hockey. Tyler just retired, and he's going on to law school next fall. Jordan's at University of Connecticut in his 2nd year there. My mother lives in Toronto, still in the house I grew up in. We have a cottage up north of Toronto, about 100 miles. We spend a lot of time up there in the summer, and you know, it's been a tough summer because we really hit the recruitment lines. David and I and Colin Chalk, and you know, tried to put together a team that can vie for a championship here, and we're really impressed and excited to get things going.
9 seasons in Fort Wayne, 4 cups. You're going to be able to add a 5th this year?
Well, I'd love to. I want the 60th season to be, you know, really special and memorable for Komet fans, and you know, we all know the only way to do that is to bring a cup home. So we're all very focused on that.
Well, Al, thanks so much for joining us. We're going to get Kaylee up in the next segment, but appreciate you coming on our debut show.
Thanks, Tommy, and thanks to all the fans in Komet land, and keep it going.
All right, Al Sims, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Kaylee Schrock going to get up into the hot seat up here. We'll be right back as Soundoff with the Komets, presented by PHP, returns.
We got a lot of players here, a lot of talented players, really good, and they're just going to go with the guys who do well in camp, who fit the mold of our team, and it's going to be a battle out there. I mean, guys are fighting for spots.
We're going to have to compete hard from the drop of the puck this year, not wait 20 or 25 games to start you know, doing the little things it takes to win. Given last year, you know, the results that the team had, and a lot of guys personally, is pretty disappointing.
Training camp earlier this afternoon. Welcome back to Wrigley Field Bar and Grill. This is Soundoff with the Komets, brought to you by PHP. Tommy Schegler and Lincoln Kaylee Schrock joins me up here. How you doing, Schrocker?
I'm doing great. We got a great turnout tonight. I'm excited to be here.
Talk a little bit about what you've been doing in the off season, because I know you've started a new job. I hear you look pretty funny in your tie.
Yeah, the guys give me a hard time, but I'm actually working for a company in the financial service industry, Northwestern Mutual, and you know, it's been a good start for me this summer, and you know, kind of having to balance, you know, hockey and that during the summer, which is good for me as an adjustment.
What has it been like as you enter into an off season where you didn't win a championship, and what you've tried to accomplish, you know, personally, and then along with the guys that are here in town to try to make sure that you guys rebound this year?
Well, I think it's tough because you know, you sit the first month of the season and you think about everything you did to lose, and it was just a tough off season for sure. And you try to make adjustments and come back in a training camp and
pop your head up here a little bit so we can see your face, okay?
All right, we're gonna go into our first question from the audience. What's your name?
Hunter.
Hunter, what's your question?
My question is, how fun was it being an alternate captain for your first year, Kaylee?
Well, it was fun. It was definitely a proud moment for myself. And the thing is, we've got so many good leaders on the team, and it could have been anybody. But it was definitely an adjustment for me. My 2nd year, I had to learn a lot. And I was glad that Colin Shaw came back, because I think I learned a lot from him too. So it was good to get him back.
Hunter, thanks a lot for the question. Let's hear it for Hunter. Getting up there. Thanks a lot, Hunter. Appreciate it. 483-8331. Got the lines completely jammed. Let's go to Teresa. Go ahead, Teresa. You're on Soundoff with the Komets.
Yes, I'm a Komet fan, and I'd like to know, how is it? I'm from Wabash, Indiana. I come all the way up to Fort Wayne. And how is the tradition, the old tradition? I want to bring that back.
You want to bring back the old tradition? I think that's what she said, and I can tell you, you want to be there on opening night. You want to talk about tradition.
Yeah, 60th anniversary. I mean, there's no better year to keep the tradition going. You know, you got Bob Jason's 59th season.
Absolutely.
You know, trying to win our first cup in the Central Hockey League, so there's still a lot to be done, but yeah, the tradition will always be there.
All right, let's go to Tom. Tom, go ahead. Tom, going once.
Hey, guys. I had a question about the Sescom Banfield trades. They're both great, excellent players that could help the Komets. I was just wondering, they're going to go with offense that much more. Sescom was a great defensive player. I was just wondering what the thought process was behind that one.
You know, that's one of the hard decisions that the K's organization has to make. You know, you need more goals. It's an offensive game. I mean, you know, obviously you don't have to talk about whether you like or dislike the trade, but you have to understand what the K's are trying to do, trying to get more goal scorers on the roster.
Oh yeah, and I think it's just yeah, it's a simple thing. It just comes down to you know, you got to trade talent to get talent, and it was unfortunate to see Sescon go, but you know, I think the fans here in Fort Wayne, I know the team's excited for Jesse to step in. He could score you know, 40 goals this year.
All right, we want to transition for a second. One of the segments that I talked about at the top of the show, something that I'm excited about with this show, and we're going to try to do it every week. It's behind the scenes with the Komets, and we were able to catch up with some of the veteran guys as they did their player introductions, filmed their player introductions. They're going to play on the video board, and they also talked about some of the training you guys have been doing on the ice in the summer. So here's a look at some of the stuff that we captured when we were out there.
You're the guinea pig of the first one to see what we're going to do. I think we're going to do something like maybe this. Okay. Just like coming in. Loose steel. Let's touch get some butter. And go.
A little bit slower. Make sure you focus on the upper lip. There's no hair there.
That was fast.
I'm usually the quiet one, you know. I don't really chirp too much, but Chalker's the one guy that, you know, kind of gives it to everybody nonstop, and I don't know, it's pretty fun, but they start over.
Well, we've been skating for about 2 weeks now, and what I try to do mainly is just get on the other team at Kelly Schrock. So it's just much easier and much more fulfilling when we win in the scrimmage. We play games of 5, and you know, he just gets so frustrated. You know, it's kind of like my kids at home. When they get frustrated, you know, I just have to send them to their room. So, whereas I just send Schrocky to the locker room. But,
blow it up. See ya, buddy. Bye, Leo. Say bye, Colin.
Bye, Colin.
Bye, Boosh.
Bye, Boosh.
Bye, Ken.
Say make it safe, Boosh.
Bye. Give me a pound. Say make it safe, Boosh.
All right, I hope you enjoyed the first edition of Behind the Scenes with the Komets. Hey, don't forget, tickets are on sale right now for the opening game of the Komets' 60th season in Fort Wayne. The game is on Saturday, the 22nd of October against Evansville at 7:30. The K's have all kinds of stuff planned for that historic night, as we were talking about, so you don't want to miss it. The tickets are on sale now, and when the K's finally hit the road, which won't be until November 5th, Wrigley Field is the place that you want to be. Wrigley Field Bar and Grill is the Komets' official road game viewing bar. All season long, right here at Wrigley, you're going to be able to catch Komet road games on their big screen. So come on down to Wrigley and catch all of the road action from the Komets. We got to take another break. When we come back, the 2-minute power play. We wrap this thing up from Wrigley. I need these lines filled up. 483-8331. Any question goes. We're going to start the power play with a question from the audience. What's your name, sir?
The question was, Tommy, Kaylee, are you going to score 20 goals this year?
Well, that depends if I'm on the power play or not.
Wow, he had a rebuttal. Al Sims giving him the business. All right, you know, what are your personal goals for the year, seriously?
Just to get off to a fast start and play physical. I think last year I tried to come into the season and try to score goals, which that's not the mentality I should have. And I need to remember just to finish my checks and play well defensively, and the goals will come for me.
All right, let's go back to the audience. Ma'am, what's your name?
Heather.
Heather, go ahead. What's your question for Kaylee?
Hi, I was just wondering if you have any rituals or any superstitions or anything when you're on the ice, or how you get ready for a game.
I don't have too many rituals. I know there's some guys that are pretty superstitious. I just try to, we have a game plan every game. I just try to think about that for 30 minutes while I'm stretching and playing soccer before the game, and I should be ready to go. It doesn't take a lot for me to get ready playing in front of you guys, so that's half the battle.
All right, let's go. Thanks a lot, Heather. Appreciate the question. Go back into the phone lines. Kenny, go ahead, Kenny.
Hey, Shockey. I was just wondering, what role would you like to fulfill this year? Do you want to be that fighter, or do you want to be the big goal scorer?
Hopefully a little bit of both. If I can chip in offensively, that's great. But I'll play physical. That's my game. But yeah, of course, I'd like to score 20 goals if I can. But a little bit of both.
All right, Kenny. Thanks a lot. You got to stop fighting so much, man. I mean, you're a little guy. You're a little guy, but you're scrappy. You're scrappy. All right, Danny.
I'm bigger than you, Tom.
Well, yeah, good job pointing that out. All right, go ahead, Dan. Go ahead, Dan. You're on.
Hey, Shockey. What's the best and the worst thing about playing in your hometown?
The best part is it's easy for me to get up for the games. Home games are very exciting for me. I used to watch these games as a kid growing up, so there's not really too many bad things about playing at home.
All right, we got to wrap up the show. Hope you enjoyed it, everybody. Go to incnow.tv. Check out the Soundoff with the Komets tab. The whole show's going to be up there after the show. See you next week. We'll be back.